welcome to JB Trio Podcast Season 6, Episode 8. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Chris, the comeback kid, Woodmancy.
Mark, the ancient warrior merchant.
And joining us tonight is our old pal, Neil. He's back for number 3 visit. How you doing, Neil?
I'm doing good. Things changed a little bit. I didn't know Chris was referred to as the comeback kid. We, of course, have a litany of other nicknames for him on Tuesday nights, but okay, we'll go with the comeback kid.
None that I approve of.
Yeah, especially last week. He's now known as the Coke Bottle Kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
gosh.
And it's cum, C-U-M.
The comeback kid. Come in the back kid. Ay. Okay, bad visual. All right. So, Neil, you were off last week, but the reason why we wanted you on tonight is because it's position round tomorrow. It's also Halloween tomorrow. We've got a lot of pre-bowls already in place, but the top teams are lined up to bowl. You guys have already faced each other once before, 3 Fingers Deep, which is Rick and them, and your team, Slate's Rockheads. And last time it didn't go so well for you guys.
no, that would be correct. I think going 0-48, you could constitute that as a bad night. After that night, initially they were called 3 Fingers Deep. After that night, I felt like it was five fingers, the whole fist, whatever was going in. But it was painful, and it was just a complete decimation by 3 Fingers Deep. Nothing else to say.
Oh,
yeah.
But that was the only week you guys lost, I think. Every other week you guys have hung tough, and you guys are in second at 240. They're at 277. So that beating, I mean, it's kind of a testament to your team, because that beating 0-48 and to still maintain second place is quite an accomplishment, actually.
Yeah. Well, half those weeks they were without Jared.
Oh.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty cold.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Is it true, Neil? Neil, is it true?
About Jared?
Yeah. Is the statement that Mark just said true?
No, of course not. We are a team. There are no I's in the word team.
Was Jared a part of this team when y'all were winning? Yes or no?
He was there in spirit.
So he was not there. The witness stands as heard, guys. He was not there at present day of winning.
Oh,
he's there in spirit.
Chris loves the bag on your team. All right, so just to go over the results of last week in our new favorite segment, the fastest 3 minutes in bowling. Team number 6, 3 Fingers Deep, right off the bat, first place team against Team 7. That is the S team. Last week it was Team 6, again as usual, dominating. They won 32 out of 48, so Rick and them, they bowled pretty good. Actually, it was George that held up the team that week, so he bowled excellent. Logan subbed in that week. He threw his hat again. That was quite a sight. But he just getting back into it, so he'll be back to normal form once he's back with us regularly. Team 11, that is Ricky and the 2 Mix, and that's against Team 1, my team. We did it again. That's a winning streak. I think they said that in the movie Major League. 2 weeks is a winning streak. So Team 1 wins again, 40 out of 48. Who you calling the pinhead? Next, we have Team 2, House Balls, against Team 14, Timmy. And House Balls found it again. Another winning streak happening for the new team. So House Balls had another great week of bowling. Nick, that had a 200 game. He only averages about 110, and he bowled nearly 100 pins over his average. So good kudos to him. Team number 8 is the Pin High team against Team 9, Slate's Rockheads. Well, Slate's Rockheads still winning. They've only lost 1 week out of the year, and that was not it. They won 34 out of 48. Another good job for Neil and them. Team 10, put your thumb in it, which is Chris's team, bowled over Team 12, the men and the 10 pin, and of course, Chris' team, the big comeback kid, coming the back kid.
Always.
They won again, 34 out of 48. Team 5, Mark's team, the Slate Sloppy Seconds, overcoming team number 4, blame it on the alcohol. Missing Garrett Williams that night, their top bowler of the league, was not him, but that means that Mark's team took advantage, and they won 26 out of 48 with a barely kiss your sister night win. Team 15, OG, against Team 13, BD in the pocket, Chris's favorite team. They won. BD in the pocket overcame, and 30 out of 48. And the final pair, Team 16, almost empty nest. And they fought against an unbelievable set of bowling again for Wicked Trio. Team 3, they had Bowler of the Week, Larry Hoover, shoot a 789 scratch. For the second game, the team shot 901 with their handicap. Had one of the best nights of any JB Trio team in the history of JB Trios. They won 44 out of 48, and they just mopped the floor with almost empty nest with an unbelievable night. To go over the standings, Team 6, 3 fingers deep, still in first. We're bowling position round tomorrow, and they are at 277. They will be facing Slate's Rockheads, which is in second with 240. Third place, Mark's team, Slate's Sloppy Seconds, 221 against Wicked Trio that had an unbelievable night at 218. They managed to squeak into fourth place by 1 point. Blame It on the Alcohol got knocked down to fifth place at 217. Against the men in the 10 pin and 6 with 211. Team 7th place, Team 10, put your thumb in at Chris's team. They have 210. They'll be going against his favorite team, BD in the pocket, with his Cody, Sean, and Gary. They're at 204. Ninth place is Ricky and the 2 Mix at 198 against Who You Calling the Pinhead. That's actually a rematch of last week, so that's good for us. My team, Who You Calling the Pinhead in 10th, with 173. Maybe we can make it 2 weeks in a row. OG, Team 15 at 157. They are tied for 11th place with House Balls. They'll be going heads up against each other with OG barely coming out on top because of the handicap total pins. Team 7 is in 13th place at 153. We'll be going up against Timmy, Leland's team, and Camilla. Camilla's going to be messing that night, so they're going to be bringing in a sub. And so it'll be the S team against Timmy as 150. And last pair, pin high, Team 8, Craig, Gino, and his wife, Tina, 147. Almost empty nest is Team 16. They're in last place. That's who they'll be facing. They've got 139. That's Anna Marie, Bob, and Nancy.
Who's Camilla having come in?
I don't know, Chris. Who's Camilla? Oh, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It's
Chris
either going to be either Logan Lewis. Logan Lewis, most likely. I just texted him. He's looking into it right now. So
I still say bring in Blake.
Blake Boggs.
Bring in Blake.
Well, you know who? What? How about the guy that Neil had on fill-in once?
Ryan Curtis?
No, not Ryan.
What's his name? Don't go
Mark
using
will
our
never have Ryan
subs.
sub for him again.
Yeah, Neil. I think he bowled for you when you were out.
Yeah, that would be Kiefer Boyer.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kiefer.
yeah, Kiefer. Yeah,
Kiefer hit it. I mean, I think he bowled last week or the week before. Bowled really well too.
I think it was last week. He was in.
It was last week, yeah.
Yeah, he helped you guys win, Neil. So
He did.
No, the only one because Neil wasn't there.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
I honestly think the team should catch on. Like, if Neil isn't there, they will.
Well, okay, so Chris, okay, so let's see. Jared's not there and we win, so we don't want him there.
Okay.
I'm not there and we win.
Okay.
So the only person left who'd be a valid roster person would be Gil. Yeah. And him, you don't trust any of the strikes he gets or applauds any of that. So I guess he could have a legal lineup with just him and a rotation of subs.
Or I do you one better, just drop out.
What's that?
drop out.
Well, that's fine because you're never going to hit my 217 average till the end of the year. So I'd be pretty much assured of beating you.
I'm at 211. I'm at 211. All right.
I know, and you won't get to 217.
I'm about to.
So I'll just stop now.
I went from 197 to 211 in 8 weeks. So come on.
Yeah, because we had like 6 games on your average. Just wait till you get to having a lot more games.
and the lights have been off.
Actually, they were on last Friday.
So to give Chris a little bit of praise, he did break through the top 3 averages.
Boom. Suck it.
He did actually knock Gilbert out.
Suck it.
So the top 3 averages, Garrett Williams, 220, Neil Brady, 217, and Chris The come on the back kid Woodmansey
Yep.
211.
Yep. In your faces.
Oh.
I'll put my money on Gil.
Oh.
Wow.
Gil down to 204 average.
Where he
So
belongs.
he hasn't been bowling so hot, but
He's trying to get used to the new bowling shirts. That's all. When he gets used
That's
to the new
right.
shirt, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's wearing him down.
It is. It's a little bit tight on him.
all right. So what do we want to do? Do we want to do Chris's just the tips, or do we want to do another week of Chris probes?
No, don't do that because I don't need any more anal probing from Chris. So
You hear, got one from.
you only get one of those
You're
once
not
every
from-
every 3 years.
Got some probing from Rick the Dick.
It's like going voting or something. You only really bend over like once every 3 years.
Yeah. Maybe Neil ought to probe him, asking him what kind of Coke bottle he uses.
Does he
Yeah,
still
we're talking six-
to share light on this story that y'all haven't heard that happened literally like 5 years ago. It was a Mexican Coke bottle that it was not used on me.
Did you say it was a Mexican Coke bottle?
Yeah, those little Mexican glass Coke bottles.
Okay.
That's what the Coke bottle that was used the scenario.
I don't know what Rick was telling me is Camilla says you guys can't afford sex toys, so you improvise.
No. And then you know what? To share more light on the story, the next day my mom used that same Coke bottle as a plant vase.
Oh my God. You let your mom touch that bottle?
Well, we didn't tell her
Exactly.
what happened prior to this event.
Oh my God. Well, does she know at least?
No.
You're kidding me.
I'm going to take that to my grave.
Well, I hope if maybe your dad listens, he can maybe play this podcast for your mom.
No. It's Rick's fault for bringing it up, so deal with it.
Oh, God.
Well, I have varying images going through my head. One is the Hollywood talk of Richard Gere back in the day with a gerbil.
Oh, yeah.
You also get the Seinfeld episode where George's dad falls on the
Jerry.
Correct. And so 1 in a million, Doc. So I'm hearing Woodman go to the doctor and be like, 1 in a million, Doc. It was 1 in a million.
That's what they all say. So, Chris, have you visited a proctologist?
No, I had no need to.
That's what you got to tell them, that it got stuck.
Never happened.
You just get somebody from 3 Fingers Deep. One of them will help you out.
No, don't need to.
Yeah, you could have Rick as your nurse.
Exactly.
Yeah, he would be very
independent
happy if he
stuff
was
right
mine. If that was ever an opportunity for him, he would volunteer.
Oh God.
We got to have him on again because he says Camilla told him some other stories.
What?
So that's how the peanut butter got involved.
Yeah,
No.
the dog ran away from home.
Got stuck, and he got the peanut butter out. And got
Peanut
out.
butter would never use whipped cream.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Oh man, whipped cream and chocolate sauce.
No.
Oh my God. Oh, don't give you any ideas.
Cherries.
Oh, cherry. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on from the toys talk. So, Chris, what happened in the bracket?
Oh, bracket. All right. Let's bring it up. Brackets. All right. October brackets. We featured in the 4th round, we had Fred Williams versus Greg Charlton. Fred Williams bowled a 669 to Greg Charlton 807.
Damn.
Greg moves on. Now, the next one we have believable. We had Larry Hoover versus Nancy Davis. Larry Hoover bowled at 853. Nancy Davis with handicap. 853 with handicap. Nancy Davis bowled a 670 with handicap. Larry moves on to go against Greg Charlton.
That's gonna be a hell of a match there.
Yes, it will be. The next one we have Phil LaPointe versus Caden Connor sub Logan Lewis. All right. Logan Lewis bowled a 680 to Phil LaPointe 718.
Damn.
On. All right, now the loser bracket of the first half. We have Tina Clay, 605. Christopher Woodmansey, the comeback kid, 675. Nick Hickey was a 642. Amanda Cunningham was a 669. Christopher Woodmansey moves on.
So you have 4 people in one loser bracket. So out of all the losers, there were 24 losers and only 2 make it.
Yep.
So out of this bracket, you faced 4 bowlers. You were the one winner, so you are now hereby put back into the main bracket.
No, wait a second. He beat Amanda. What was her score?
Yeah, Chris, what was your
669.
score?
We'll have to have that looked at. Didn't she shoot like a 250 game or a 240
Yeah,
game?
She did. She had a
She did.
246.
She did.
Okay, so I'm looking right now. She had 67 pins a game.
67. Yep, 67 times 3.
201.
201 plus hers, and then 669.
Wait a minute. She bowled. What did she bowl for series?
Hold on, I gotta get my calculator back up. Hold on.
You're telling us she bowled like 220 scratch the other 2 games that aren't the 240 game.
That's what I got here. Hold on.
No, I think if I remember right, she bowled like a 140 and a 130 for the other 2.
Hold on. I'm looking at that. Y'all hold on.
But it was 246 and then 140 and 130.
So that's 510. And
Well, you know what?
her 201. So that's 700 plus.
Yeah, it says her handicap series was
Is
739.
Wait a minute, Chris. Is this selective bookkeeping?
Yes.
Wait, no.
If you look at your sheet, high handicap series, women 739.
Hold on. 71 times 3. Okay, 213. And then I put the 547.
I'm looking at Lee's bookkeeping, and it says Amanda shot a 739 series with her handicap.
Oh, Chris, you're out. Chris.
How the fuck that up?
You messed up.
I knew it.
That's what kind of a comeback is that?
Oh, my
comeback's over.
Oh my God. Yeah, come back over.
He's trying to get money back so he can pay for that.
No. Holy shit.
He's in the doghouse.
Hold on, let me double check mine.
I think next time somebody else needs to run this thing.
No.
Somebody who's a little less selective.
No. Hold on. I'm checking mine.
Yeah. 71 pins for her. Something for me. 71 for her.
Out of all the brackets that you messed up
now.
So out of all the brackets you messed up, you're involved in that bracket.
No, hold on.
He is out.
He's out.
You know what? This is what Rick told me. He wanted me to play.
See, look, I messed up on Nick Hickey's too by 100.
Look at
what?
Oh my God!
Yes,
what?
Nick
Only
Hickey,
100?
Yeah, Nick Hickey 2 bowl is 742.
So who did he face?
He was in the same group as ours. I'm checking.
Oh wow! Yeah, because he bowled 200 off of 110 average.
Yeah, hold on. Nick.
Hey, Woodman, I really hate to go there, but did you certify the 2020 presidential election results too? Were you part of that? Because now I know why Trump lost.
Dude,
wow!
I was in a hurry to do this. Now I'm just double checking. Hold on.
Oh my God!
Now you know why I gave up my vice presidency. I'm afraid he'd lose the deposit slip.
You'll be guilty by association.
Just like Rick said.
There's no way to go through life, sir.
Oh my
Tina,
God!
Hold on. I'm doing Tina's right now. Hold on.
See, that's very funny that you throw in a Animal House reference, because when I heard that Larry Hoover shot that big number,
I got Tina's right.
Well, you got one right, thankfully.
Yeah, what was that, Neil? When
when I heard the Larry Hoover reference, I was thinking Animal House. I said, geez, wasn't there a Larry Hoover in Animal House?
Was there really?
No, I'm mixing 2 characters. There is a Larry, and the guy who heads he heads the fraternity. So you're like our Hoover. So
Dean Hoover?
Yeah, there was
not
like
Dean. No, it's the head of this fraternity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Hoover. There is a Hoover, and Chris is like the flounder.
He is flounder.
Calm down.
Well, he does say he's a freaking legacy because his dad's bowled in the league, right? So he's a legacy.
That's true. He is a legacy.
Legacy.
Just like Flounder was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as a correction, Nick Hickey won the loser bracket. He's back in the game.
Oh, wow.
Going against Phil LaPointe. Nick Hickey versus Phil LaPointe. Isn't Nick Hickey a house bowler?
He is, yes. He's on the house balls team. So Nick Hickey advances because he had a hell of a night. He had the 200 off of 110.
And just so I got this straight, Chris is eliminated.
Yes.
Chris is
Hey, you were eliminated by me,
That's all right.
by someone
Okay.
else. Okay.
Chris is eliminated.
Chris is out.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Next side. The other side, we have George Martinez with a 668. Tim Chrissy with a 761.
Yeah.
Tim Chrissy moves on.
He also had a nearly 250 off a 170 average.
Yeah, these handicap management people need to stop sandbagging.
Well, they're just taking your advice.
Yeah.
The handicap maintenance. It's a thing.
Yeah, definitely a thing. All right, next bracket is Lee Jr. McDonald versus Tina Saunders. 626 for Tina, and then Lee 689. Lee takes the win. He will be going against Tim Chrissy, which he's
now
gonna
that's
lose.
an authentic win.
That is gonna lose. He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose.
Well, that means I made it farther than Chris. Hey.
And Mark. All right. You know what? Throw Mark in there. All right.
Okay, yes, and Mark.
Next one, we have Jake Albright versus Gary McNair. Jake shot a 677. Gary shot a 638. Jake takes the win.
All right. So it's me against Jake next?
No. You go against Tim.
Oh, I'm against Tim Christie. Okay. Oh, man.
Tim Christie. Jake will be going against a loser bracket, which consists of Vacancy, Leland McDonald, Jared Gallegos, and Joe Bear.
Oh, my God. Please say the Vacancy did not win. Please tell me.
And the winner of this one is a close one.
Vacancy.
It was between two members, Vacancy and Jared Gallegos.
No, come on, Jared. Pull through.
Oh, Jared got it.
He got it.
Thank God.
Jared got the win. Jared will be going against Jake Albright in the next round.
He's got
all these matches are going to be hella matches. Like all 8 bowlers that made
those are our 8 bowlers.
Yep. So we'll have 4 big time matches to watch.
Okay, so let's recap those 8 bowlers. I know
we have Greg Charlton versus Larry Hoover, Phil LaPointe versus Nick Hickey, Tim Chrissy versus Lee McDonald, Jake Albright versus Jared Gallegos.
All right, so we're gonna do a real quick pick segment.
What happened to Amanda?
Well, I had to read. Since I got her wrong, I wonder who else I got wrong. So I got Nick Hickey's wrong as well.
Okay, so was Nick Hickey ended up advancing in that one?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
What did he bowl?
642 to Amanda's 639.
No, so that was so. All right, timeout. So
yeah,
Amanda bowled 631 with her handicap.
639.
No, 739.
No, sorry,
yeah,
739. Sorry. Yeah, 739. Sorry, I meant 739. I have 739 here.
Oh, but what about Nick?
To 742.
So okay, so Nick had okay. I see what you're saying. Right, so Nick still advances, but he had a bigger. So recalculating everybody's series, Nick was the one that came out. So you were actually in 3rd place in that bracket.
Yes, I'm in 3rd.
No, Lee, he doesn't count the cash every.
Okay, you know what? If I had 80 plus pins like they do, like they have, I probably would have took first. But I don't have 80 plus pins.
Well, if you were calculating, I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, I'm just saying, if I had 80 plus pins, if I was, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to go there.
All right, so with what we know about these bowlers, I think all 4 of us have a pretty good idea of these guys. So the first match is Larry against Greg.
Greg Charlton.
All right, Mark, who do you think would win in that match? Handicap, heads up.
Okay, so this is Larry Hoover and
Hoover.
Yeah,
this is Animal House Larry.
Okay, they bowl us this week, so he'll be matched up against Ron. I think he might be under a little more pressure trying to win the match.
True.
So I'll go with
Greg.
Larry.
I'll
go with Greg.
I got Larry on that one.
I'm gonna have to go with my teammate Greg on that one. He's been bowling pretty hot lately, so I'm gonna go with Greg.
I got Larry all day. Larry.
What do you think, Neil?
Initially, I was thinking. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, regardless of how good Larry's been bowling, I mean, he shot the lights out. So you say, well, he probably can't do it again. But Greg also bowled very well last week too.
He definitely won't do it again.
I think I'm going to go with the Woodman on this one. I think I'm going to go with Larry. I think Greg's going to cool off also, and Larry's going to take the W.
So we're split 2-2 on that one. So both guys average close together, like in the upper 190s to 200s. So handicappers, the spread is virtually non-existent. So it just depends on which guy bowls better.
And even if Greg does win this one, with Chris doing the books, Larry's going to advance.
Yeah, he picked Larry. So
I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
A few mistakes.
I was in a hurry.
Pretty big mistakes, I'd say.
All right. So,
well, remember, hey, Chris, remember when you told me the other week you were doing these only when you spend time on the can? Spend a little more time on the can, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay, take the extra couple of minutes.
If it's Camilla got the Coke bottle in the room or something?
Probably does. Okay. All right, so this next one, I want y'all to, when y'all vote for this one, next one, I need you to know what Phil's been pushing through, okay? Phil bowled his first week of the bracket, 684. Second week, 704. Third week, 718, okay? He's been moving up all week for the past 3 weeks.
He's been the Jeffersons moving on up.
Exactly. I started from the bottom number here. Okay. All right. Now he will be going against Nick Hickey, who had bowled first week 594. Then he bowled a 735 and then a 742.
Not bad. I would say the spread, though, is going to be astronomical.
Yeah, because the handicap is a big.
Probably somewhere in the 60s. So Nick Hickey, who's been bowling really good, is going to get a ton of handicap from Phil. Man, this is tough because Nick is, he's the guy that bowls on average 24 miles an hour for every ball. And I think if I remember right, he only throws like a 10-pound ball, which is partly why he's throwing us so damn fast. I'm going to go with Phil on this because more experience in the league, even though he's actually not that experienced, only a couple years. But he's been one of our biggest up-and-comer bowlers, although Mark says he's bowling with the Chris effect because now that he's on Chris's team, he's averaging 25 pins less. But I'm going to take Phil.
I got Phil as well.
What do you got, Mark? Tough one. I have no idea.
I'm going to make this pick on the toilet. I'm taking Nick.
What?
Oh,
wow, he's going for the handicap. That's all he's going for.
It's the Chris effect.
It is the Chris effect. Phil would be 25 pins better if he had a different third bowler.
He is.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Ancient Warrior in this one. I think the whole Jeffersons thing ends this week, so Phil will not be moving on up. And
the podcast curse.
Messed up.
He's laying the podcast curse on him.
All right, next one. We have Tim Chrissy versus Lee McDonald Jr. Okay, Tim Chrissy shot. He's been shooting pretty good all week. He shot a 729, a 727, and a 761. So,
according to Chris.
Yeah. So and then Lee been shooting 685, 720, 680, 689. I got Tim on this one.
Oh.
Okay. Tim's going to be against a real tough bowler, one of the toughest bowlers in the league this week.
Okay. Someone's a little brown-noser.
So I am going to go with Lee Jr. in this one.
Hey, I got one. At least I got one.
Well, actually, I'll second that motion. I'm also going with Lee Jr.
No, what? We got a bunch of brown-nosers here. They just want to put. You know what? Go ahead. When y'all see him Tuesday, you just go ahead and stick your nose up his ass. Okay.
Oh, come on. I'm not into Coke bottles. All right. I'm guessing the spread's going to be somewhere in the high 20s, maybe almost 30. The numbers speak for themselves. Tim's got a lot higher scores than I got in this bracket.
Yeah, but listen, don't trust Chris's numbers. We already determined that.
Numbers according to Chris. I got to pick myself. Yep. That's it. I'm just picking myself. I'm going to try my best.
All right, next one. We have Jake Albright versus Jared Gallegos.
All right.
So Jake history in this bracket the past 3 weeks. Jake bowled a 653, 642, 677, and then Jared bowled 570, 625, and then a 682. So he's been moving on up, actually.
All the numbers are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, he's been on this one. I hate to say, Jake's been bowling so well with one hand, and he is so good. And I hope he proves me wrong.
Oh, don't jinx.
I am going. I am
against his
going.
own team.
I'm going with Jared.
Wow.
And I hope Jake proves me wrong because he's been bowling so good, working so hard on his one-handed, and he deserves everything coming his way. And I hope he proves me wrong on this. But I got Jared.
Yeah, Jared all day for me because of the Woodmansey effect again.
Okay, so I was gonna say I actually obviously I'm gonna go with my teammate because I always have faith in him.
Yeah,
But I know.
Chris.
Yeah, no, why?
Now-
He's the only reason your team is winning.
Is that you have faith in him when he's not there, or
He's always there in spirit if he's not there physically. but now I have to also side with Mark to offset the curse of Woodbin or whatever that may entail. So now we need a double whammy the other way. So I'm gonna go with Jared, my teammate, to continue in the losers bracket. Strongly.
Yeah.
I am gonna go against you guys. I'm picking Jake.
Great.
He's been bowling that one-handed style. It's really worked for him. Nothing against Jared though, because I think Jared's definitely got it in him to beat him. But I don't know. I got a feeling that Jake's gonna just edge him out. It'll be like a kiss your sister, like 651 to 650. All right, and those are our picks for the bracket. Once those are done, they'll get to round 5. There'll only be 4 bowlers left, and they'll have 2 matches. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty in the big bracket. It's almost over. It's a lot of fun. We actually had a lot more interest than what we had last year. A lot more bowlers in it than we did last year. But yeah, we had a lot of people come up asking about it, and it was pretty fun. And we're hoping to do some more brackets in the future. But yeah, this was getting close to finished.
so what is it? $100 for first, and what's it for second?
25, 100 for first, 25 for second. And it didn't cost anybody a single penny to get in. So this is just something extra we plan and have fun doing.
And here we go with another segment of Beat Mark's Picks. Rolling with last week, Mark in last place again. 1 win.
What?
This whole thing for me is just to get to know everybody.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Is Chris keeping the totals on this?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
So I am 1-7 this week.
Wow.
Lee and Chris, you had exactly the same picks last week.
Did we really?
You did. So you guys both went 6 wins, 2 losses.
Damn.
And our guest, Rick, went 4 wins, 4 losses.
Wow. I think Neil's going to do better than that.
Yeah, there was a post bowl that we have to factor into this overall records. So in the post bowl, Lee, you did get a win. I did get a win. And Chris, you did get a loss.
Nice. So I'm in the lead.
So Lee is the leader right now with 24 wins, 9 losses.
Yeah.
9 losses.
Yeah.
Chris is in second, 23 wins, 10 losses.
By 1.
And my record is 15 wins, 18 losses.
Wow.
Our guest is 4-4. We will get rid of this segment if Chris wins. So Lee, it's all up to you.
Yeah. It almost seems like Chris is keeping the running total for this. This doesn't seem right. But I think it's going to be a big comeback for Mark. Pressure's going to start to mount.
Well, the second half, I'm waiting the second half. There's a lot of new bowlers. It's tough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know them, and this first half will have bowled everybody at least once. So
that's true.
I'll get a good feel of the matchups. But this first matchup is the matchup of the week.
Oh, definitely of the whole season. I think
of the matchup,
the revenge round.
Yeah,
I love it.
The handicap difference in this game is. In this match, rather, is 3 pins.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
Holy crap.
3. So
we got Neil's team, Slate's Rockheads, against 3 Fingers Deep. Man, what a match. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope they don't put us on the low end where they start on 1 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, I've got thinking about this match, I think that I am going to go with Slate's Rockheads here. I feel like finally Jared might break out of this slump. He's starting to pick it up a little bit, at least from what I saw last week. So I'm going to go with Slate's Rockhead to win this match in a grudge.
Neil, do you have any? Oh, sorry, Mark. Neil, do you have any insight if your whole team is going to be there?
Unless someone comes down with COVID like I did last week.
See, they're already planning, 2 days, and he didn't know. See, they're already planning that.
Hey, you're the one who keeps saying we're older. Older people are more susceptible to getting sick.
Yeah,
right?
older people also freaking suck, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, when you're still on your mama's tit, the rest of us are out here bowling. So this is where we are today, right? So you need to respect your elders. As far as I know, there's no last minute business trips for any wives. There's no last minute USB-C meetings out of state.
Yeah,
and there shouldn't be any last minute sickness coming on. So, so we should be fully prepared. Whether we bowl in lanes 1 or 2, or 35 to 36, or we bowl between the snack bar and the front desk, we'll be ready.
Or if their foul lights are on or off.
Exactly.
And we know Chris won't be there because he'll be trick-or-treating.
They'll be trick-or-treating.
I will be trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
There's a Coke bottle.
You know what? I will be drinking Coke.
I am going to, and I hate going against any of our guests on the podcast, but I just got a feeling that George is going to pull through. He's going to bowl one of those magical 700 nights, barely edging out Neil, who's also going to bowl just slightly under his at 700. But I think it's going to be a kiss your sister 26 out of 48 victory for them.
I'm going to watch my mouth out after this, but I'm going to vote for Gilbert's team because that's what his team name should be, Gilbert's team. And so Gilbert's going to win. Neil's going to suck. Jared's going to do just half decent, and then Gilbert's going to shoot 800.
I hope Neil and Jared both shoot 750 on here.
Well, I vote for them team, so I hope they do because they'll win.
All right, so 3-1.
I will say that I do want to give Rick Connor a little bit of a nod because he was our guest last week and he did break the podcast curse. So
he has, unless it took a week off, but let's hope not. Not. So next pair, we've got the third place team against the fourth place team. Slate Sloppy Seconds Mark's team against Wicked Trio. That's coming off that unbelievable bowling week. Mark mentioned a little bit about it. When you bowl against your competition, they happen to be bowling almost empty nests. But when you bowl against high average bowlers, nothing against almost empty nests, but Mark's team is a familiar team in the league. They're really good. And against Ron especially, he'll be bowling heads up against him. I think it's going to be a little bit more down to earth for them. So I'm going with Mark's team.
Yeah, I'm going with our team too because we're going to. Amanda didn't get in our card game last week, but since we're bowling, because she was way down the other end of the house, but since we're bowling together, we'll get her into the card games. And when we get her in the card games, adds a little extra pressure on her.
Maybe you could buy her a drink, get her liquored up.
Yeah, adds a little pressure on her. So,
well, I think I'm going to vote against that just because Mark's team sucks. And Ron hasn't been shooting good, and I saw his score. It wasn't great on the post bowl. Yeah, that being said, I think Mark's team is going to have a horrible crash, like drink a lot of Monster and then crash at the end. That's a crash they're going to have tomorrow on Tuesday night. So I'm going to vote for the Wicked Trio.
Okay, so let me see. So as much as I don't appreciate the name for Team 5, a bit disparaging to my own team, as I said, Larry bowled really well last week, and I'd be surprised if he'd be able to keep that up. I think the Ancient Warrior is going to show up. Let's be honest, the 190 average, down 7 from an entering average, not showing up necessarily for the first 8 weeks, but I think number 9 will be Mark's week. So nice. I'm going to go with Slate Sloppy Second.
All right, so 3-1 there. Yeah. Hey, Chris, how come there's more teams you dislike than like?
Because
they're not you.
Exactly. They don't have me on the team.
All right, so 5th place against 6th, Team 4 against Team 12. Blame it on the alcohol. against the men in the 10 pin. Another good match. We didn't get the spread on the last pair, but what's the spread on this one,
Okay.
Mark?
The spread on just so you know, the spread on the last one was 56 pins.
Oh, damn.
The spread on this one, it depends on who's bowling, but let's say Garrett is in there.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be 42 pins that would be given up.
I'm almost positive Garrett just took 1 week off of their 4-person lineup. So I'm almost positive he's going to be back. I don't know what their lineup looks like, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it. It might be Fred out because Fred hasn't taken a week off yet. Okay. What do you got, Chris?
What's the pins on this one?
42.
Oh, what's going which way?
If a Garrett bowls, it's going with the men in the 10 pin. Get 42.
Gary and Sean and Cody.
I got Fred team.
Okay, good pick. I think I'm going to back you up on that, Chris. I think Fred's been bowling great. Garrett's a great bowler. He's the highest average in the league. So it's hard to go against that. So I'm going to pick them.
Oh, just FYI, Fred lost $10 to me in a bet of scratch bowling. So,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Fred. He was clocked at 19 and a half on the radar gun last week.
Damn.
Yeah, he hit it. And then he had a few drinks in him and he kind of collapsed a little bit at the end. I think he felt bad for Chris because he crushed him the second game. So I'm going to take that team.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's what she said.
Yep.
All right, Neil, who you got?
So, yeah, let's see. You know what? I hate to go against Barry Vickner because every time I look over at the guy, he's always throwing a strike. So even when I see a 171 average, I say, my God, it should be.
But he did bring out the Michael Jackson glove last week. So or at least, so he might, I seen him with it on Wednesday. So maybe he didn't use it on Tuesday. So it might be different bowling this week. He has this white glove he wears.
This is a tough one. I know we bowled Fred 2 weeks ago. He bowled really well that week, and he's continued to bowl well. Yeah, I think Gary should have been bowling better. I think Cody's actually been very up and down, but he looks like he's been good recently. Yeah, I'm gonna go blame it on the alcohol.
Blame it on the alcohol.
And I can tell you, what is it, James? I bowled against James last week. Let me tell you, when he needed to strike, he would strike. He came back, he'd throw 3 or 4 and end up taking me down the stretch. So that team is dangerous.
They are. They're a good team.
Even with Carroll, they can be dangerous.
One of the few teams that have gotten above 50%.
Yeah.
All right. So is that we got all our picks for that one?
Yep.
All right. Next pair, Team 10. Put your thumb in it, Chris and them against BD in the pocket. Chris, we'll let you go last on that. Neil, who do you got for this?
This is the easiest match on the slate.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that even Woodman even made tonight's podcast because, of course, we know the very sad news of Matthew Perry's passing.
Yeah.
And so, as I said, I was surprised that Chris could even make it. So, to be honest, I think he's going to be in bereavement all week.
I thought so. He's got posters of him all over his room.
That's right. Yeah. He was always a big Friends fan.
I am. I love Friends.
Now, this is a post bowl, right, Lee?
No. I have a sub.
Yeah, you have the sub.
Really?
Chris will not be there.
Yep.
Who's the sub?
It's a surprise.
Well, who's the sub? This might actually change my pick there because Phil and Jake could probably bowl pretty good with Chris gone.
It's actually AJ Chapman.
It is not AJ Chapman.
No, it is not. You don't even know how to spell AJ.
Phil and Jake met a guy on Thursday that they bowl with on Thursday Night League. And this kid, I met him on Friday night. This kid, he comes up to the bowling alley wearing a gray beater, dirty black pants, some work still boots, and he bowls with bowling balls. I'm like, this guy is not a bowler. And I'm like, he doesn't dress like a bowler, he's dressed like a slob. And he comes up and bowls, and his arch is like freaking arch. I'm talking, he gets like a parallel arch when he throws that ball. And he throws it, boom, 20 miles an hour, hooking it. And he averaged literally 237. And he's 23 years old. And
so after all the insults you just passed along this way, you gave him a compliment.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, bro, I told him the truth. I'm like, bro, I thought you were nothing, but dude, the way he threw the ball, it was amazing. And I told him exactly what I said at first, and I took my words out right in my mouth, and I apologize. But yeah, this kid, 23 years old, he dropped out of high school and never went to collegiate bowling. Never thought he had anything potential bowling, and this kid had skill. Man,
damn.
What's his average on Thursday?
On Thursday, 237.
Oh,
damn, bringing in the ringer.
Yeah.
So hold on. After I go on this big spiel about you being so distraught over Matthew Perry, you're not even gonna freaking be there. So hold on a minute. Hold on, I gotta rethink this. So hold on. So we got Woodman. Who are they bowling again?
They're bowling against Brian.
Oh, Bimmerman?
Did they bowl? Actually,
I'm going with Bimmerman.
So Brian is going to be there, and this is Matthew Macy and Christian Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going with BD in the pocket. That's who I'm going with. That's my pick.
Big dick.
Probably going to go opposite, only because Phil and Jake are both in the big playoff, so they're going to be bowling their best. I hope the pressure doesn't get to them. And then hearing Chris describe this other bowler, I hope he's got a book average, because if he doesn't, he'll be setting an average, so it won't matter what he bowls. So it'll be up to Jake and Phil.
Well, you can use it Thursdays, so I mean.
Okay. So all right, so yeah, I'm going to go with put your thumb in it.
Okay, so Chris, you're sticking with your team, I imagine. So that's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right. So next pair we got 11, team 11 against team 1, the rematch from last week. My team, who you calling a pinhead, against team 11, Ricky and the two mix. And we pretty much crushed them last week, but it's hard to beat a team back-to-back weeks. And the spread, if I remember, was, I think, in the 50s. Was it, Mark? Is that
this one's 80.
80. Jesus.
Yeah. I'm going to go with your team here.
I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to do the same. I picked us to win last week. I'm going to keep the faith up and pick us to win this week.
I'm going to go with you guys also, Lee. I'm expecting a lot out of Henderson, as Mark knows. I always do.
Yes.
And Ricky's been very inconsistent. He's great for one game, and then I don't know what happens to 2 others. So, yeah, I'll go with who you call. Who you calling?
That's us.
Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, you were 74 last week. Now it's 80.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Not bad. All right, Chris, who you got?
I got Whore, you're calling pinhead.
Whore, you're calling pinhead. So, hey, that's the four unanimous. Perfect kibosh on us. Thanks.
Yep.
All right, next pair, team 15, OG against team 2, House Balls. House Balls has been on a roll. I'm going to go with House Balls here. They're going to keep it up.
Yeah, I got House Balls on this one.
Yeah, they actually did us a big favor because Neil and Nick literally opened, like, I don't know, the first 2 games, they opened, like, both of them, like, the first 8 of the 9 first frames. So that they really helped us out quite a bit getting the W against them. So,
nice.
You know what? I feel bad for Patrick and Darren. They don't got the third guy, but they probably will get a sub. Let's do that. Maybe they get a super sub. I'm going to go with the OG.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they had somebody bowling last week.
Jim,
yeah. What?
That is actually Darren's neighbors. Jim actually bowls, I want to say Thursday, but he did bowl last year in the league. He's using his book average. I think he's going to be on that one more week, which is 135 average. I think it's one more week. He may be done with it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody subs, it'll be him.
Okay, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take OG in this one.
Wow.
Okay.
Lame.
All right. So House Balls, if you're listening, they all do. They always get on me for not picking them. I'm picking you guys, so do me good. All right. Next pair, almost done. We are on 29-30, team 13, 13th place against 14th place. The S team against Timmy.
Now, the S team did pre-bowl?
They did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at the scores. I think the only one that has is Mark.
Yep.
So a little bit maybe swayed in that favor, but again, you never know.
And
I'm going with Leland.
I was there. I'm gonna go last. I was actually there when they postponed. So
yeah,
of course.
He was.
So was Mark.
I was there, and Chris was there, and I will tell you, Chris was trying to coach them So be careful on who you take here.
Well, if Chris is coaching, I'm definitely picking Leland's team then.
Yeah, he was coaching him.
All right.
I'll pick last.
I'll pick
All right.
last.
All right, Neil, what do you think?
You know what? I also don't know much about the S team.
They're a friend of Chris's. His name is Chris Saunders, his wife Tina.
And they have the little baby.
Oh, the baby. Yeah.
Oh, the baby. Oh, the baby.
Yeah, the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Tina brings
Well,
the
you know,
baby. Oh.
I don't see a lot of babies hanging out in bowling alleys at 11:30 at night, but unless they have a beer in their hand.
Mark's there.
So
he's basically one. He has a diaper.
You know what? Because Camila is obviously a hell of a woman being married to the woodman.
But she's not
I'm going to go with Tima.
She's not going to be there, though, right?
Like, no, she's not going to be there. They may be bringing this up for her, maybe.
Oh, jeez. What the heck? Oh, my God. Okay, so hold on. Let me think about this again.
Yeah, like who's the sub going to be, Chris?
This one is going to be a floater.
Try to get
a floater. I'm going to try to get some. It might be Logan, though. Might be Logan.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still going to stick with Tima. Tima's my pick.
All right.
Who are you taking,
guys?
Chris? Who are you going to take, Chris?
I mean, Chris was shooting great. I mean, I don't know what Diago shot or Tina shot, but I'm going to go for the S team on this one.
Yeah, so I know.
That's a little insider info there, but that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last pair, Pin High, which is Craig and Gino and his wife against Almost Empty Nest. Up and down for Almost Empty Nest. I'm going with Pin High. I think Craig's going to bowl good, and Gino, he's going to find it again. So I'm going with Pin High.
Same with me. I'm going to take the same.
Yep, I got Pin High.
Well, I'm going to go with Almost Empty Nest. I like Nancy Davis's game.
I do too.
It's strong.
Too. And those are the picks.
I like yours, right? Yeah.
Real quick, we got Bowlers of the Week. Real big kudos to Larry Hoover. There's only been one other guy that's done this in the history of bowling, and that was against Mark. Mark members. Richard, when he bowled 200 pins over his average, he had 205 for Bowler of the Year. And Larry Hoover broke the 200 barrier, bowling 202 pins over his average. He is our Bowler of the Week. He shot 787.
And Richard did it on drugs. I don't know if Larry did it on drugs.
He borrowed Richard's drugs. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So Richard, who bowled 205 that night, nobody's ever broken that record. So that's still a record by 3 pins. So nobody's ever bowled as high as they did against Mark. So
on drugs. On drugs.
But kudos to Greg Carlton. He's my teammate. He shot 717. He bowled 159 over his average. Any other week that have won, except he just had to do it against the night Larry did his. And Tim Krishy, another kudos, 119 over. These guys bowled pretty awesome. Tim is on Larry's team. Don't have Larry's scores, but I know he bowled really, really good. He had a 246 off a 170 average, so he bowled good. Amanda Cunningham, who is also on that team for the ladies, she bowled 103 over her average, which is a rarity when the women bowl 100 pins over. So she did really good, and I think so far she's leading the ladies for Bowler of the Year for the ladies with 103 now over her average. Kudos to Camilla. She bowled 52 over her average, and Anna Marie Davis bowled 37. She's been pretty solid, and so she also made the list. Like we talked about earlier, high average goes to Garrett Williams. He's still at 220. Neil Brady, 217. Chris breaks the top 3 barrier, 211.
Yes, sir.
Now for MVP, this is the person, of course, who wins the most individual points for their team, which, of course, is the definition of most valuable player or bowler in this case. And that person goes to Sean Taylor. He is leading the league, and he has got 46 points won individually. So he's leading the league for the men. Kudos to George Martinez right behind him in second, has got 44 points. Larry Hoover right behind him, though, he's got 40. So those 3 guys are in the top contention for bowler for MVP of the year. And for the ladies, MVP, Nancy Davis. She's won 34 points. Right behind her, though, Amanda Cunningham, 32 points. And Tina Saunders, 25 points.
Neil's team, the only way to win if Neil's not there is Jerry?
Do we think Neil's team is going to be in first place after Tuesday?
Oh, no.
I think they got a good shot. I really do.
No.
Even though I didn't pick their team to win, I think they got a hell of a shot.
Well, thank you, Lee. We appreciate the support. Versus some other people in the league, especially people who don't, their math skills are definitely lacking.
Suspect.
Yeah, suspect, correct. Yes.
Selective bookkeeper. That Coke bottle distracted him.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it must be the glare off the Coke bottle is bothering you when you're doing your math.
Probably is.
The one that he gave to his mom. That's the most horrible part of the story. Gave it to his mom afterwards. That's horrible. And what did the flowers die that she put it in?
Yes.
They were poisoned.
I thought he had that Coke bottle on his mantle. The dog's ashes. The one that cleaned the peanut butter.
That was what I was going to say. Is the ashes in the peanut butter jar?
That's nasty. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 8 of the podcast. Thank you so much for following my team and only my team. That's all you care about. We will give you more up-to-date info on my sub on how great he bowled for me and that my team won to move forward. And that Neil's team won, ended up winning, but he did not bowl it up to par. Gilberto. So tune in next time to find out how the week goes. If you do not tune in, you'll be like the Coke bottle of the dying plants inside.
All right, guys. Neil, thanks for coming on, buddy. I know it's kind of last second, so I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for being
Never a problem. I'm always willing to help out and to anytime I get a chance to give the Woodman even more grief. As he noticed, I've been nice to him on Facebook. But so I'm devoting my energies on Facebook, other places, most importantly, Rick Connor and his team this week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it'll be a fun time this week. Chris is not going to be there.
We'll have a blast. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see y'all tomorrow. All right.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.